You fucking ready to do this, Doc?
You fuck yeah. That's good. That's good. I like that beat, man. Like, I'm having some inappropriate thoughts.
Of things you can do with that beat?
Yes.
That is...
Like, eat hot dogs.
I'd like to see that. I'd like to see that take place. I really would. That is our beloved Infamous with Sexual Fun Time Groove Machine.
Yeah, that's cool.
And Doc has imagery going on in his head right now.
How do you not?
I mean, I wasn't really thinking of much.
Dude, and the picture on the album is a bug.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
A Volkswagen Bug.
Yeah, with a
scantily clad female.
Yep.
And
washing it. She's washing the bug.
Oh, yes, she is. She does have a towel in that hand.
Yeah.
But in a not presumptuous, what's the promiscuous pose?
Yeah. Yeah, with space boots.
With space boots, don't forget that. Yeah. Because it's the Groove Machine.
Yeah.
It's a badass little song by the Infamous. Find it on Spotify and iTunes. Sexual Fun Time Groove Machine. Get your Fun Time Groove Machine on.
Yeah. So these cats were just in the Dallas Observer.
Yes, they were. They've been getting a lot of traction lately. I guess maybe we can take some credit for that, surely?
Yeah.
I mean, well, let's do it. Let's take credit for that.
Yeah, it's cool.
Hey, welcome back to the show. Sorry, it's been so long. I hope nobody held their breath and wondered where we went.
I bet they all did.
I hope we lost a lot of listeners and they all died.
Yeah. We lost 5 of them and we're down to 12. But thank you, because that means we have 12 devoted followers.
Thanks for those that survived. Yeah. Yes, thank you. But welcome back to the show. It's just your host with the most body mass, myself, and Doc Fagley once again.
Yeah, Savage Bro isn't here.
No, he's not. I don't know why he's not. I thought he contributed to notes, but looking on the highlights, he did not. He just altered the title.
In true Savage fashion, we asked him. We made a fairly compelling argument for why we should do the podcast tonight.
We did. And what was his response to that?
No.
Like just no, or no, I love you guys. I can't make it. I wish I could be there, or just no. Just
period.
The letter N and the letter O.
And the letter period.
And
that was it. No. So I will be filling in for Savage Bro tonight.
Do you get that honor? What about me? Who do I fill in for?
You can fill in for Savage Bro too.
Maybe we'll take turns. We'll swap back and forth.
Yeah.
But we've got a fun-filled show for you, and let's get right to it.
Fairly divisive show.
Oh, maybe. Yeah. There's some local drama going down right now. School board issues.
Oh, my gosh. Oh, my gosh.
Some of this, which may maybe for the benefit of the actual school board, because now there's a lot of people paying attention to it.
I would agree. I'm all of a sudden paying attention.
Mm-hmm.
I will say that.
Yeah.
So,
and you're not in
valid
this, well,
point.
You're still in the school district for now.
Yeah.
I'm in the school district, so I get to vote. You get to vote. So we get to vote, right? But there's a lot more people that aren't in the school district that are now paying attention to it. And a lot more people in the school district that are paying attention to it and asking questions. Hey, who do you think I should vote for? Who's running? There's only 2 positions right now that they're running for. It's Brad Rieger, Nate Bayless.
Yes.
My vote went to Brad because he's a beloved friend.
I can't believe you actually conveyed what your vote was.
Yeah, well, I'm okay with that. I mean, it's not controversial, right? They're both
that position's not controversial.
That one is not. We're getting to that. The other one, but the Bayless, the Rieger one, everybody says they love them both. Like you can't make a bad choice, honestly. But
I don't know Bayless.
I don't know Bayless. I know Rieger, and
Rieger is like one of the best dudes ever.
Yeah, he is, and he's a fan of the show. Yeah. So and he's been on the show.
So that makes him a really cool dude.
Well, my thing is he's got 2 kids in the school. He's passionate. He wants to be a part of the community.
Definitely a community
oriented.
Yes.
Yeah, for sure. And I've got an open line to somebody that I know personally now that I can ask some hard hitting questions if I need to, and that means a lot to me.
Okay, so that's a valid point right there.
So somebody that's transparent.
So you vote for who you can actually talk with.
Boom.
Yeah, that's a big deal.
Yeah, I think so, and on a local level especially. Yeah, because we can't really open up a line of dialogue with Joe Biden.
Yeah, no. I mean,
would you want to?
If the dude wanted to come on, I would have him.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We'd have to.
In a heartbeat.
We'd have to. Wouldn't be much of a conversation, I don't feel like. We don't have the capacity for fancy teleprompters and stuff in
I would
here.
like to try, though.
So, Joe, how old are you? 100 bajillion, million, trillion, billion, 40.
4.
Thanks, Joe. It's been good talking with you.
4.
Oh, he's just agonizing. He's just agonizing. The whole
I
thing,
tried to watch the State of the Union address, and I couldn't get 5 minutes into it.
It's hilarious.
Yeah.
God is a comedian, and we're center stage right now.
Yeah.
America is center stage on the cosmic comedian stage.
This guy is leader of the free world. We are not getting down this path. But okay, so the other race is Matt Joyner.
Okay, and Holly Ann Petrie. I don't know how to say her last name properly.
Yeah, or Petrie.
So that's the controversial.
Yeah, that's got
race.
hot.
Yeah.
Yeah, because there was some Facebook stuff that leaked or not. It wasn't leaked. It was just some Facebook assertions that were made by well-known community members.
Definitely. And there has been a campaign coming from money outside of this county in favor of Holly Ann.
Yeah, so this is interesting. Does this borders on what we're about to talk about?
Which
right?
is?
So what's the money? I want to see if what you're referring to is the same thing I'm kind of detecting on my own accord. My own research.
Why is there money coming from outside of Wise County to influence races in Wise County?
Yeah.
And this money is tied directly to West Texas billionaires.
Yeah, you are talking about the exact same thing.
Same guys.
Yeah.
So, what is their purpose?
Okay, so this really has me in a bit of a tizzy.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so if we had to encapsulate what's going on, is you have this what's Tim Dunn?
Yes, Tim Dunn and Jonathan Strickland. Right?
I don't know about Jonathan Strickland. I know about
they're in that same.
Yeah, there's two other people too, and they're like brothers.
Yeah, they're in that same.
Wilkie, I forget what they're. But okay, so West Texas billionaires. Mm-hmm. Okay, this is real. I've done a lot of research lately. Like really hardcore Christian-y people. Mm-hmm. No offense, I love Christian-y people.
Sure, yeah.
But like crunchy.
They want to turn
like
Texas
far
into
right.
Very, very far right. They want to turn Texas into a theocratical state.
Yes, and as best I can tell, they are really hard right wing.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, and so
that's the gist that I got, and a lot of people, I would say, common sense oriented in the Republican Party or the right wing parties.
Yeah,
plural, have that same feeling.
Yes,
and there's a vibe. There's a resonance going on of like, this isn't right.
I'm sort of so I'm torn.
Well,
right?
They're ushering out
unintended.
They're ushering out their agenda, and they're ushering out diplomacy, right?
Yeah. So these billionaires have funded political action committees, mm-hmm. which are, and they're allowed to apparently. Sure. Yeah, it's perfectly legal. Mm-hmm. It's like within established Texas politics that these political action committees can actually give money to any race.
It's the
anywhere.
State level version of lobbying.
Yeah.
National lobbying.
But state levels lobbying are local level.
Yes. Yeah.
Yeah. And so this is true as well. So the people associated with these political action committees are putting out like junk mailers mm-hmm. on Stuckey.
Yes.
Okay, so that's really interesting.
And now the same kind of smearing is going on on
Facebook.
On not
Facebook.
just Facebook,
yeah,
but on text. I've even gotten a text.
Yeah,
the same type
I have as well.
Smear campaign is going on at the school district level.
Yeah, so
same money trail.
It is true.
Yeah,
it is true. I have a real problem with that.
Everybody should.
Yeah,
everybody that's able to think clearly, they should have a problem with it, and they should ask why. Why is
what's up? What? Yeah.
Why is there outsider money influencing local elections?
But it's not influencing it like cleanly.
Oh no, yeah.
It's like, okay.
But that's the status quo of elected the getting into an elected official or elected position now, right? Like you just have to. It has to be a fucking clown show.
So I will say that I'm still like grappling with like, okay, who do I vote for? Who do I vote for? And then I get these text messages and these mailers, and then I see the Facebook stuff that's happening. I see this like smear campaign that's going on. That's possibly, I will go so far as say likely funded by these people, and it really makes me think twice. Like, yeah. So
I think it's been validated at this point that yes, this is outsider money for sure.
Yeah,
I think it's been validated.
I agree.
And that's once again in essence of what we did with the local elected officials. Like we're presenting these people as hardworking human beings too, and they're capable of making mistakes.
Yeah,
they're capable of not pleasing every single damn person. Also, like you can't. That's just not possible, right?
Yeah,
that's not possible. You either do the best of your ability, or you become a dictator, a theocratical dictator, and impose your will.
So this is a really interesting point that you're making, because I feel like everybody we talked to conveyed the message that they didn't really start learning and growing until they got into office, right? The details of the position,
they change.
Yeah, that they do change. But okay, so are we voting on the quality of the person trying to unseat the incumbent?
That should be the case.
It's like, okay, are these people trying to smear the incumbent?
Yeah, I think that should be the case. Like, pay attention to the quality of the person.
That's concerning to me.
Yeah. And what is their quality? What are their values? And is it just screeching and screaming and talking head points?
Ooh.
Or is it is there a good attribute to that person?
Yeah.
Are there good qualities that can be paid attention to?
That's hard. And I will be the first to say I do have some agenda items that seem to be far right leaning.
Sure.
And
okay.
And so like school vouchers, for instance.
Okay, I think you and I differ on this.
Yeah, we probably do, and it may be worth.
Here's the Whiskey Bro drama. Listen in, people. Here's the juicy drama we're about to get into a debate.
Just wait a week from now. You're gonna smear me. You're gonna be like,
I'm gonna text those West Pet. No,
he's a fag in sheep's clothing. I can sense it coming.
Okay, let me hear your viewpoint on school vouchers.
Well, first of all, I'll state my bias.
Okay,
right. I have two homeschool kids,
okay.
Yeah, kids who have transitioned, one from private school to homeschool, and the other that has transitioned from public school to homeschool. Okay. And then I also kind of view the curriculum standards and changes that have occurred over the last like 10 to 20 years. And it makes it really gives me a sense that we should have a driving force for change with regards to curriculum. Okay. So and then recognizing I pay this is my bias stance. I pay a lot of money in taxes, and then I also pay a lot of money in tuition.
Your own tuition, yes.
Yeah.
Sure. Okay.
And so that's just my biased experience of it.
Okay.
And so I have no problem saying that in my case, I'm probably going to vote towards my bias.
At this point, I think you're voting for somebody funded by West Texas billionaires.
Yes, that's true. So valid point.
Yeah, if that's the agenda you're wanting to go for, is that your primary objective? Is that the biggest thing you want on your plate for your vote?
Yeah, so that's a really good question. Right?
Is that going to essentially drive your vote no matter what other issues might be?
So this is interesting because whenever you tease out, like, okay, where is Stuckey's position on this? Where is Hopper's position on this? Then we're talking about the Stuckey versus Hopper race, which is for Texas representative.
We should put out a disclaimer, though. Like, yes, this is local stuff, but for everybody listening, we do have a lot of non-local listeners, for sure.
Yes, that's
we
true.
know this for sure. At least two.
At least two of them. Yeah.
Okay. But this can be applied to your local level as well. So it's good food for thought for you to pay attention on your local level once again.
Because this is happening on your local level.
Sure.
Okay, so I'll go so far as to say if you have an incumbent representative who is up for re-election, which is like all of them right now, and they voted to impeach Cruz, that their opposition, this is getting a little muddy, but their opposition is getting money from these Texas billionaires to unseat them.
Yes.
That's a bold assertion, but it seems that's actually true.
But Cruz is not the one in the
not Cruz, not impeach Paxton. Yeah,
Paxton.
I misspoke.
Who's a criminal?
I don't know, right?
In my opinion, an unconvicted criminal. Like it's already a for sure thing that he's used taxpayer money to pay for his defense.
Yeah.
So that's one.
This was one of my heroes during COVID too.
Ken Paxton.
Yeah.
I mean, he still has some pretty good noble things that he's done. For sure.
Took on the federal government whenever federal government was trying to overstep itself.
Yeah. I mean, thanks for that.
Or overstep us.
But should we be cleaning house?
We always should clean house.
Yeah.
Yes.
No matter party.
Absolutely. And I actually agree with Stuckey on his vote there.
Okay.
Right.
So no party allegiances, right? Like if you did something, if you pulled off something that's illegal or immoral, goodbye.
Right. But Stuckey was on the quote unquote grand jury to say, yeah, we should look at this Paxton thing and see if there's anything to it.
Sure.
And that's what they did. They said we should look at it. So, but if for anybody that voted the way Stuckey did there, they're getting money thrown at their opposition.
Sure. Yeah.
Big oligarchy.
Back to school vouchers. Did you have anything further that you wanted to say on that?
Not really. It's like it could equate to thousands of dollars a year for me.
So as we've grown intellectually,
okay, you're going into your point. Good.
Yes.
I want to hear
intellectually.
Good.
Our maturity has grown. Our understanding of the way things work has grown. Obviously, government has to be a part of our life. There has to be some sort of regulating body. There has to be some sort of body that institutes a way to get educated. Like that should be the core. Other than enabling commerce and goods and services.
I think so.
Education should be like a fundamental of government, right?
Right.
So on that note, one, you guys that are already able to afford private school and pay private tuition or homeschool, you already have that luxury, right? Or maybe it's not a luxury. Maybe it is I hate the word privilege. I literally hate that word.
You can use, right now, currently, it's a privilege. I think you can actually make that, it is.
Okay.
It feels like a privilege because I recognize that there are a lot of people who would not have that option.
So at the core of the school voucher system then, or the money essentially follows the child, right? Mom and dad say, I'm sick of the school district. I'm going to put the kid in homeschool. Or
I would say at the core, yes.
Or we're going into private school, Christian, Catholic, whatever.
Yeah. Atheist.
So through however the government sets these school vouchers up, well, that taxpayer money leaves your town school district and follows that kid to whatever institution they enroll in.
Yes. And so the voucher supporters claim that it's not like that. Okay. So they claim that.
How does the money follow the kid then?
I've tried to understand this, and I've done a lot of reading.
It's above my pay grade for sure.
Yeah, I think at the core of it, it does. Yeah. And I think this is a societal, like 38 states have decided to, or have voted in favor of vouchers. So something, a lot of states.
Okay. Assuming that it goes the way that we're talking about, like we know what the hell we're talking about. Assuming
we don't know.
We don't. I'm making a.
This is coming with like Whiskey Bro certitude.
I'm being a little facetious. Yes. Assuming we know what the fuck we're talking about.
Yeah, right.
But eventually, if you have that situation occurring on a large scale, what happens to the school district, the school system?
It has a change.
It gets gutted. And what happens to the students that are in families that can't provide for them that kind of luxury or privilege, or they're not in a situation where they can take their kid to a private school? Because with private schools, even though they may be getting that funding now through vouchers, there's still a tuition that comes through the individual.
Cliff.
Okay.
You don't know.
Tell me.
Okay, no,
I mean, I know the area. It's a bad area.
You know the area. It's a bad area. Yeah. It's bad schools,
sure.
Right? It's poverty-stricken.
Yes.
Right? Smack dab in the middle of Dallas.
Yep.
There are no private schools that I know of.
Okay.
Right? In Oak Cliff.
I'm unfamiliar. I know the situation, but I'm unfamiliar with what they have to offer.
Yeah, so if somebody in Oak Cliff decided, okay, these schools are shit. They're shit.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not sending my kid to this school, but I can't afford private school.
Right.
Right?
Yeah.
Okay. Things are changed. How?
How are they still going to afford private school? Because if it is truly private school, you're still paying a private tuition out of your own coffers.
Yeah, but the educational savings account, the ESA that they're proposing, is like $10,000 a year. It's more than what I pay for my kids' tuition.
How does an educational savings account work? Who you fund that?
That's taxpayer funded. Educational savings account. That's what was proposed.
So that pays essentially the tuition. That has also been removed.
I think we pay $5,000 a year for each of my daughters.
Yeah. So that would essentially pay for both of them for a year's tuition.
Yeah.
But that also has been removed from the revenue stream of the private or the public school system at that juncture, right?
Yeah. I mean, the proponents for this measure say, yeah, not exactly.
I don't see how that is
I don't see it either.
Either it is or it isn't.
Right.
Like there's no gray area.
It's there's a state surplus, and we're going to give more of the state surplus over to the public schools, but we're also it still allows room.
Well, then it's up to
educational savings account. Yeah.
Because there's according to Stuckey, there's an $18 billion surplus right now that's being held hostage so they can get the school voucher thing passed, which is bullshit.
Yeah. Agreed. Right.
If there's money that's a surplus, it better go somewhere, and it should be education. So back to my main point, though.
Yeah. Okay.
Once this keeps compounding, you completely degrade the public school system to the point where it's I don't know what the ultimate future is, and that's not fair to those kids that can't be put in a situation of a private school.
Yeah. So let's follow it to its end.
Yeah.
Right. So yes, I worry that is actually true. Right. So I'm trying to make the best decision as far as my own personal case.
Yeah.
But I also worry that is actually true.
You want to be like the public school system should be the bedrock of a good functioning government, and a good solid education. Yeah.
So can privatized education? Okay. This is a valid question. Can privatized education be offered more efficiently, more competitively, and at a better cost structure than through public means?
Probably so.
That's
probably
tough.
So. But now that we're having this conversation, this is where you want to get involved in your school district and your local government. You want to show up to these meetings to have your voice heard. And this is the part where I feel like I part ways, because it's like the refugees that leave their country. Instead of staying and changing it,
they leave.
Instead of fixing the problem.
Can't judge anybody for that.
I'm not judging anybody, but I'm saying it's the kind of relevant to our school situation, right? Instead of like sticking around, having your voice heard, and fixing the problem.
But school is
fuck it.
Yeah. Okay. So I would argue that school in general is becoming less localized or less centralized or localized.
Okay.
How would you say that?
More federalized?
No, not even federalized.
Okay.
Both my girls attend a school in California. Yeah.
When?
That they have been since.
So this is a private school provided by California
on online curriculum.
Ah, okay.
Right.
Interesting.
Yeah. And we went with the school. We didn't go.
If Savage was here, he would have just left.
Yeah, he would have.
He just walked out the door.
No.
California education? No.
Yeah. So we're in a new age too, because I think about it, it's like the kid in Oak Cliff can pay for the same tuition. I'm not recommending it, but I'm not recommending it either.
Yeah.
But can pay the same tuition and buy the computer and buy the internet to support it, all with in under that mark, that $10,000 mark.
Okay.
So I don't think it closed. Not that there are uncreative people all around us, both wealthy and poverty stricken, right?
Yeah.
But the means most certainly exist.
Yeah. I still think that long term it completely erodes to the public school or public school system to a degree that we don't even recognize it anymore. Like
I think that's happening by virtue of our technologic progression. Right? So I think about, I know like Savage Bro, no. Savage Bro.
It's no, bro.
Yeah.
No.
It's like I'm speaking for him. I feel like I can. It's like his kid's going to college, right? On potentially a volleyball scholarship.
Could be, yeah.
Yeah. So, but I'm not so certain my kid's going to go to college.
That's up for them to decide,
like,
right?
Things are changing.
You want to encourage them to, better their life and find a good lifestyle they like, right?
Right.
And you don't really. I don't know. I don't know how to handle that. You try to I don't know, man.
Here, go.
Like, you don't really want to be over persuasive because then they rebel.
Right. And right. Exactly. and potentially being an adult, like young adult, young, stupid adults, because all young adults are stupid.
You'd like to open up all avenues.
Sure.
And do your best to display with the tools that you have and the education that you have. Here's what I can showcase for you that I have learned in my life. Oh, you don't like that route? Okay, well, here's something else you can try. I don't know as much about it, but you could find success there too. Yeah,
but the days of going and getting a $240,000 education to become a social worker,
not ideal anymore.
It's like health insurance,
and
right?
According to Peterson, that is one profession that is also being infiltrated. School teachers, social workers, mental health therapists. Right. It's all being invaded by psychopaths.
Yeah.
That's his verbiage. Psychopaths.
Yeah.
I'm sure those people are also in physical medicine too.
Oh, most certainly.
Yeah. Definitely.
Yeah, absolutely. So that's tough. It's like public institutions. Okay, not just schools.
That's the problem. Public institutions are under siege.
Yes.
And I
successfully.
I feel like school vouchers are the refugee status of something that.
Okay, I see what your point is.
So
and I like it. Yeah. Like that is a
nuanced. Find a way to fix it. Have your voice heard. And that's what's I think going on in our local election right now. And the smear campaign going on against Joyner, boy, has really brought out the rally for Matt Joyner.
Yeah.
Like the things I've read, okay, some of the things I disagree with, but overall he seems like a pretty upstanding and very knowledgeable person to have on the school board.
Great guy.
So with experience.
I know him
kids
personally.
In the school system. Yeah.
I don't know Petrie, right?
I know what she apparently represents or who represents her.
I mean, I suspect. And if we apply the same philosophy, it's like, do you vote for the guy that you can actually call up to say, "Hey, what's up, dude?"
Yes, I think that's
yeah. I don't know.
I think so. Don't want
right?
You don't want local people out of touch,
right?
Or untouchable,
right?
You want them approachable.
You got somebody
visible,
you got somebody you talk to who you recognize as a upstanding character.
When I've seen debates with Stuckey and with Hopper,
Hopper
almost appears cartoonish.
Oh yeah, okay.
Almost cartoonish and animated in his responses, and what I get out of Stuckey, whether you like the way he's voted on some things or not,
right,
is a diplomatic tone.
Yeah,
able to converse, have a conversation, keep a level head, and try to make good policy based on his best foot forward.
Right.
I'm not. I
mean, do I really think that Stuckey loves the trannies? Right?
I don't.
He gets up and puts on this rainbow flag every morning and looks
so snuggly.
I love the trannies. But you wouldn't know that if you read the mailer that came out.
Oh yeah, you'd think he
yeah. Oh my gosh.
But at the end of the day, I think visibility is the best thing. Visibility and approachability, especially at your local level.
Yeah, and you got to recognize decency and vote for what you feel is decent.
Yeah.
And not follow smear shit.
And corruption, to me, not decent.
Not decent.
Not voting for it. Period.
Yeah, I know, right?
I don't care how hard you virtue signal.
Yeah. Is it right what George Soros is doing for the left?
It's the same thing.
I think so, right?
It's the
same thing.
It's the same thing. It's just on the other side.
So you got it, but it's not wrong, right?
It's corruption to me.
I mean, it's legal for these people to
just because it's legal doesn't mean it's good.
They got a lot of money and then be like, yeah, you have a few million.
It's only legal because it benefits those people making the law.
Yeah. Okay. So they get say and influence, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
But man, American politics has always been that way, I think.
I had a great conversation with Carson this morning, and we were talking about.
Oh, he's a great one to talk about this with.
Carson is he's a goddamn prophet.
Amen.
But
has he survived? It was tax season, right?
Did you recognize that whole arrangement of words? Goddamn prophet, amen. I think that's podcast name,
I didn't
right?
catch that. That was a goddamn prophet, amen. Got it.
Oh, that'll turn some heads.
Okay, that's good shit. Okay, back to Carson being a goddamn prophet. Amen.
Yeah, no, I lost my train of thought. Oh, so we were talking about on the larger level, the national level, lobbying being what it is, corruption and cronyism.
Yes.
But he's like, I can't begrudge people once they actually do leave DC in those offices. I can't begrudge them of having work. But what do when they leave? They go to work for all these companies that lobbied and paid them. They go to work representing them or consulting for them.
That's the engine of the industrial complexes.
Bingo.
Right?
Bingo.
Military industrial complex, insurance industrial complex, pharmaceutical industrial complex. I mean, it's endless. Filled up with them.
Yeah.
Yeah. And that's if you have a regulatory body, a governmental regulatory body, it's going to create a industrial complex because of that rotating door.
Yeah. And the precipice of the COVID pandemic, is that the right word? Just precipice, like the ceiling?
Yeah. No, it's not that's the
apex. That's at the apex of the pandemic.
Yeah.
We had the crossroads, like the great uniting that could have happened when big industrial complex really came into the limelight of we don't need to trust any of these.
Yeah.
And then we had the great convergence, the recognition,
the great recognition,
and then the bypass.
There's too many greats, the great convergence, the great reset, the great recognition.
But am I right? All the leftists went to loving big corporate, big pharma, and all the righties that were all about, big corporate
and all of a sudden you had all these crunchy lib mamas giving their kids vaccines.
Yeah, and it's
the Great Crossroads.
Yeah, the Great Crossroads. We had the chance to. That's another name for it.
Yeah,
we had the chance to just converge and meet in the middle. Instead, we just waved at each other and then went all to opposing corners. I'm like, what the fuck?
Yeah, this is the psychotic aspect of American,
and we're still in America's psychotic episode.
Yeah. So my 8th grade daughter is doing American history, and she's like
the California version of it.
Yeah, the California version of it. There is some flavoring of that that curriculum with like California. I've noticed that
anti-colonialism.
Yeah, you know, and they just did a chapter on Texas history and the Mexican-American War without giving any credence to the fact that Texas was an independent nation
for a little while.
For a little while, like 12 years.
I've had this discussion with the chief, and you're the dude that's also being funded by West Texas Billionaire is pro.
Yes,
Texit.
Yes,
secession.
Right. Yeah.
So I've had this conversation with the chief, and I'm like,
you're referring to Hopper.
Yeah. Yep. So don't you think that this is not good? Like Texas is not good. And my viewpoint was, if we successfully concede from the United States of America,
my dad's going to lose welfare. Yeah.
Well,
that's.
I think there's going to be a lot more loss. I think it's going.
Yeah.
I mean, our GDP is what? Oil?
No, we got petroleum? A lot. Okay.
Our biggest GDP.
Yeah.
We have the inflow, the outflow. It's got to be oil and petroleum, right? And then
that's big.
We have lumber.
Yeah, but we
East
have
Texas.
that whole like West Texas coast and Houston, whether it's part of Texas or not.
So, anyways,
we have Houston. We have this like pipeline.
We have energy production here.
Energy production. We do have corporations.
I don't think food production here is enough to sustain the state.
Does it have to be? I mean, because we have this big coastline.
That's assuming people want to trade with us until things play out.
Okay, so great book. Like honestly, maybe everybody should read this book. I couldn't put it down. It was like 450 pages, so it's not a small task. But Peter Zehan, geopolitical analyst, and he wrote the book "The End of the World Is Just the Beginning." Okay, and essentially, this guy's not in Texas. He lives in Colorado. He's a little lib, I will say that. And so there's like some stuff but honestly, it's like he has some lib bias, but he's basing his book or his facts, his ideas in fact, it seems, really. But 450 pages, I didn't know this when I started the book, but he's essentially making the argument that the rest of the world's kind of fucked. U.S. might be a little fucked, but it's not fucked like the rest of the world is fucked. And the only place to live in the U.S. is Texas.
Don't you think Mexico is essentially going to be gunning for us as soon as before the ink's even dry?
Yeah, I don't think Mexico can gun for us. Not that
there's a lot of Mexicans, yo.
Yeah,
and I've seen what the cartel does to people too.
Yeah,
and I don't want to put our
cartel wouldn't jack with their market.
I don't want to be at war over exiting the United States either. I don't want to put our young people.
All that to say,
you and I can make our decision. We can pull out our guns and shoot at people. I don't want to put our young people in that position.
I don't think. I mean, I think Texas could Texit, but I don't think it's funny. It's like Texit, Brexit, like
now. Chad, and his consensus is, well, if Texas does it, it's going to be leading the way for other states.
Yeah,
there will be a unifying of states.
Is it possible?
Leaving the United States.
Is it possible?
It is possible. Here, now that I've trapped you in the Texit conversation.
Yeah, good call.
Yeah, this we are not sponsored by Shiner.
I thought we were.
But I am drinking the Shiner product.
This is fantastic.
I'm done with it though. I'm ready for the Thomas.
Yeah,
Sir Thomas Handy. Sir Thomas Handy. 2023, is that correct? I don't remember.
It is 2023.
Look at that. Look at that beautiful color.
This has to be my favorite.
Beautiful.
By far. My favorite rye.
That's a beautiful color. I keep talking about the color.
Beautiful.
So now that I've trapped you in this Texit conversation.
Yeah, you haven't trapped me. It's interesting.
You're the Hopper candidate is undoubtedly pro Texit.
As are the Christian theocratics.
Bingo.
Yeah.
Thank you. That was my next topic. Now we're trapped in a state that is being ruled by theocratical oligarchs.
Yeah. Are we trapped? I mean, are we in a state that is being ruled by
I don't know.
Theocratical oligarchs?
I don't know if we're trapped or not. I mean,
not yet, but my fear is that we could become that way. And that's why I'm torn. It's like, do you vote? Because the theocratic oligarchs kind of have aligning positions that affect your bottom line most immediately, do you vote for them? Knowing or suspecting that, it's going in the direction of something you might not fully agree with.
We got to approach this delicately because we are still in the thick of the Bible Belt, right? But I would like to
shit, you said Bible Belt and I spilled whiskey all over myself. Sorry.
How do we approach this for somebody that is a fundamental Christian, Well, yeah. Because they're going to go, okay, what's wrong with some theocracy ruling?
Okay,
how would you like it?
That's a really good question.
How would you like it if it was the opposing?
Yeah,
religion?
No,
you're
seeing it in Portland right now.
Yeah, if it was an Islamic majority imposing their theocratical rule, how would it feel then?
Yeah, I think that's the right answer. In that, like, government should only have so much influence and power.
Bingo. Yeah.
It's like guiding the fabric of society towards certain values.
But the benefits,
that's up to the people.
Everybody.
Yeah.
Everybody that's a legal citizen, speaking specifically.
Yeah.
It should benefit everybody, not exclusive classes or religions.
That's what I worry about, like the far anything.
Yes.
Far left, far right, far gray.
Stuck here in the middle with you.
Yeah.
That's where we're at.
Yeah, if anything can be labeled as far anything, that's me.
I'm looking this way at far right people and far leftists, and I'm like,
holy
fuck.
My worry is if it can be described as far, it can always be it can also be described as long. And if it can be described as long, it might as well be like and so that's
was that a reference to an old derrick or a pump jack going into the ground?
Derrick
was that
going
what that was?
Back and forth, innie outie, into the ground.
Reciprocating.
That's it.
Pulling up that West Texas crude.
Yeah. So that's what I worry about.
Well,
so you make some really good points.
I think we both do. But we're able to articulate those and not I'm not going to put out a smear campaign against you.
Oh yeah.
You disagree with me. I think that's shitty.
Yeah.
I think it's shitty.
Savage Bro says no.
No. How do you feel about it, Savage Bro? No. He's not even going to listen to. He doesn't even listen to our episodes. What a dick.
Yeah, we know this. We love him for it.
Anyway, so moving on to are you done with that? Is there anything?
I really can't think of anything. It's like, go vote your heart. Don't and really think about voting towards somebody who runs smear campaigns.
Yeah, and
or allows it, right?
That endorses it.
Think twice. I'm not saying don't vote for them. I don't know. I mean,
we can't dictate your vote. Otherwise,
no,
there were the
think twice about that shit, man.
Yeah, you really should. Vote for the quality and the transparency and the and their policy and their agenda should have some sway too.
Yeah,
for sure.
I will say about okay, so believe it or not, ChatGPT, not 3.5, but 4.
Okay, I don't know the difference, man.
Yeah, I know, right? ChatGPT 4 actually provided citations. So as I was kind of discoursing, a lot of it was on Google websites, actually political science professor at the University of Houston. So, who I've come to kind of read a little bit. I forget what his name is, like Rottingham or something like that. But ChatGPT 4, I would discourse a lot of this with ChatGPT. And one thing about ChatGPT is you ask for the opposing viewpoints. So it's like when he says something, you say, okay, what might somebody say who supported the other side? And it'll give you the other side.
Interesting.
It's kind of cool. Yeah. With citations.
I do have in the wheelhouse. We're not going to bring them up tonight because I want to wait till we have other guests on that are more knowledgeable. But back to the hologram theory.
Yeah, I want to.
I
want to watch this.
Tesla's remarks. Tesla was like, he didn't really specifically say hologram, but it was like there's an ether. And our reality is painted onto that ether, which is
it is a theory,
a two-dimensional plane, and so
this is part of string theory. Right?
It all kind of and quantum and now quantum mechanics and quantum physics apply to all of this.
Yeah, so
we're in a really fascinating time, but
we are. What
sucks right now is you and I and everybody listening. We're all consuming microplastics.
Yeah. Okay. So tell me what
these. I keep
you put that on the agenda.
Yeah. So the the stories are more and more prevalent. I've noticed in my news feed about really alarming issues of microplastics because the stuff does not really truly ever break down and turn back into just carbon.
Okay.
It stays, whatever molecule atoms make plastic, it just stays that way perpetually. And it does break down, but into fine microscopic particles that end up in the water stream, the food, it ends up in the plants.
So what plastics are you talking about?
All of them.
All of them.
Every
so
single
not just the
made.
water balls I didn't bring.
Yeah.
Sorry.
But everything. I mean, plastic's always shedding theoretically, right? And then you have recycled plastic that sheds even more.
Right.
Waste plastic that sheds. And it's just a perpetual thing that ends up literally in like the, I don't know what you would call, what is it in plants? How do they, photosynthesis is how they gather their food.
Yes.
But what is their network of like their blood vessels? What is that in a plant?
It's like, oh, you would ask this.
Anyways, microplastics have been found in the flesh of the plant. Also, they have been found in the flesh of animals. That
I don't like it. I like your description of it.
There you go. Yeah, that's the best I can do. Somebody out there is going, you dumbass.
That's true. Like studies have shown that.
Yeah, and therefore you and I have microplastics. And that's
is that bad?
It's a theory on why fertility rates are plummeting.
Yeah, like I would say a competing theory, right?
It's a theory on why cancers are prevailing and not really going away or going the other. They're
I would say that's a prevailing theory as well.
They're not going. Yeah. They're not moving in a negative direction. They're exacerbating.
I think there's bordering. So there's a theory that the microplastics are causing cancer, but there's also an overarching theory as to how microplastics are causing cancer.
So I'm not privy to that theory. Can you tell us how that arc happens?
So basically the microplastics, and that's a large, I wouldn't even go into kind of the molecular classes of microplastics because there's several of them. And Shanna Swan on Joe Rogan, like I think there's been a couple of episodes. She is one of the leading researchers, and she goes into phthalates and I don't know, oxalates, some of the other, I don't know if that's right, but so our body experiences or encounters microplastics and considers them toxins, right?
But it can't dispose of them.
Yeah, but it doesn't mean it doesn't work to dispose of them, and maybe in the working of disposing of microplastics, we actually kind of gas out our means of detox
of what other things that it's supposed to be disposing of.
Yeah.
So I've heard that yes, it tries to dispose of them, but it can't do it. It can't do it to a degree where they don't end up compiling in the liver.
Right. So yeah, that's valid.
And our diet is also shit too. Everything is shit.
Yeah, like you combine that with seed oils and there have been several what I call emergent phenomenon.
Okay.
So emergent phenomenon.
Is this since 2020? 2021?
No, this is like last century.
Okay.
Right? So I'm talking about over that time scale. So you look at this is very much in the realm of epidemiologic data. But you just kind of look back on human experience over the last like century versus over the last 1,000 years, 10,000 years, 100,000 years, and then you just ask yourself, okay, what has changed severely?
Well, we're living longer essentially because of pharmaceutical advancements, right? But we're also plagued.
So that's medicine 2.0, what Peter Attia classifies as medicine 2.0.
But we're also plagued with more disease. Or maybe we're not. I mean, maybe there's,
we are living longer.
We are living longer.
In general.
But are we plagued by more disease, or were the diseases of the past just labeled, were there 10 diseases just labeled as one? Like, what was the big one? Consumption, right? Back in the 1800s, 1700s.
Yeah, infectious disease.
We don't really know what's happened to this person. They have consumption.
Yeah.
When in today's world...
tuberculosis, right?
Yeah, there you go. Yeah. In today's world, they're going to pinpoint what exactly is wrong with this person.
Right.
And they don't call it consumption anymore, do they?
No.
Okay.
And they treat it.
Sure.
It's like even TB, one of the worst infectious diseases, which is still a problem in the developing world, has a treatment.
Now treatable.
Yeah.
Interesting. Okay.
So that's okay. So with all that said, right, you look back and people are, what's changed? Well, microplastics have changed. Okay. Seed oil consumption has changed. General processed food, like if you even look at it from a macro standpoint, sugar consumption.
The industrialization of the food industry as a whole. That is the single largest issue of our health.
This feels like a significant.
That has got to be the single largest issue of our health, right?
Okay. So let's go into that. So was there not industrialization of the food industry in 1800s?
I don't know. I mean,
I don't think so. You had tobacco, you had cotton.
Sure.
Mostly from plantations.
Maybe you had some regional industrialization, but not to the extent where you're getting stuff from all over the fucking planet.
I mean, you had development in the 1800s and the move west, because I'm going through this with my 8th grader, Manifest Destiny, the Western Territories, you had the development of the Chisholm Trail, cattle industry, right? So you had the industrialization of meat, right?
Yeah.
Or the start of industrialization of meat. Okay, so you had that, and then eventually, I don't know, people still grew their own shit, or they bought it from local places.
Yeah, it was still, in a sense, regionally sourced, right?
Yeah.
I mean, that originally at that era might have been 100 miles,
Yeah.
Which to them could have been like global scale. That was monumental for them, I'm sure.
Right.
And that equaled a variety.
Variety. Yeah, there's Savage, bro.
We need to have, to expand on this, we should have Eric Rieger back on and Dr. Brown too, because I know they're both pretty damn, like y'all could just run with that. But
I'd like to have a food historian.
Ooh, where the hell do we find one of those?
Yeah, that's a good question.
Yeah.
I would like to have Michael Pollan, but I think he's too big for us.
Yeah, we're getting there.
Yeah, we are.
Yeah,
we got like 13 now. I mean, since the start of the episode, we gained one.
I was genuinely surprised when I looked at our analytics. I like shocked almost that we hadn't had an episode in 2 weeks, and I looked and I was like, "Oh, what is going on?"
There was a bit of a blip there,
and the infamous episode has dethroned Worms Live Matter.
That's a big deal, man. We're gonna have to have
Worm Lives Matter. Yeah,
new T-shirt made.
I guess so. Too Loud for Flower Mound. New T-shirt coming up. That episode has dethroned. The infamous have single-handedly wiped out all of our 86 now, including this episode. In a period of 2 weeks, they have wiped out all of our progress.
Yes,
of promoting other episodes. So
we call that eclipsing.
Yeah, good job, those guys. They deserve it though. They're fucking badass.
Yeah, they are.
So back to shitty food and microplastics. So yeah, we're maybe in an era of discovery of.
Yeah, I think so. Okay, so actually, it could be argued or maybe observed that heart disease is actually leveled off, right? Maybe it's not on the decline yet, but since like 2000 to 2020, that maybe that like upward slope has kind of like leveled off a little bit.
Not the case with cancers.
Not the case with cancer yet, right? But maybe we're starting to really kind of maybe make a turn. So I know personally,
the technology and the stuff that you promote is just like early awareness. Like get tested, have your panels done, and then if you find it in the early stage, it's supposedly highly treatable, right?
Yeah, as far as cancer goes.
Yeah,
and it looks like we're getting there with heart disease too.
Same thing.
Yeah, exactly. That we're actually getting with CT technology. And I'm not just talking calcium scores. I'm talking some really advanced shit.
Okay.
But with cancer, technology is expanding with various DNA technologies. With heart disease, you're having imaging technology that's coming along. It's I think we're getting somewhere.
There's got to be a contribution to the decline in heart disease because of the decline of cigarette smoking.
Well,
too,
that's
right?
true, right?
Like that is a gateway to systemic failure. Is just being addicted to cigarettes, right?
Yeah, that is true.
It's not to say one every now and then.
Like cigarettes were really shitty.
Yeah, no,
they really were.
Pack a day, 2 packs a day. Yeah,
that was bad.
One occasionally when you come home, you're just like, fuck this day.
Man, I love a cigarette.
Yeah,
I love.
But what do you have in one? Like once a week?
Not even.
Yeah, so
it's like once every few months.
Yeah,
and the general rule of thumb is, if you have somebody that'll give you a cigarette, bum a cigarette. Don't go buy a pack. Okay. But I have bought a pack. You know,
we have all bummed from, or I have bummed from your pack. A Savage would say, "Oh, you're cool smoking with them, huh? You got to be cool, smoking." Like I just wanted a cigarette. You know?
I got somebody associated with a liquor store that actually shows up, and I won't say who it is.
Well, I know that person.
I won't implicate her.
Don't they usually bring menthols?
Yeah, but hey, it's a cigarette. Yeah.
Yeah, but they're not black.
That's true. Do they even sell those? Like those,
I think they outlawed them. I think they did. I think really? They were. They determined they were marketing them to minors, or the menthol was appealing to minors.
God, I love cigarettes.
But it's okay. We have flavored cigars. Those are just fine.
Yeah, they're fine. Yeah, they're fine.
Have you ever been around anybody that can actually like inhale a cigar?
No.
That's impressive.
And I've never been able to. Okay, so with a cigar, like I get a relaxed feeling that kind of happens over the course of the cigar. Like with a cigarette, I can actually get high on.
Yes, you can get that nicotine high. Yeah.
Yeah.
If I smoke a cigar on an empty stomach, I'm fucked.
Oh yeah, like you actually start getting.
Oh, dude, again. Well, it happened here once in here, but the other day I woke up in the morning. I'm like, I'm gonna have some coffee and I'm gonna smoke this big fat stogie. I didn't have anything to eat, so I woke up, had some coffee, and just smoked the stogie down. And halfway,
you're like,
you get that over anxious feeling that not like just creeping up. I'm like, I'm gonna fight it. I got it. Halfway up to the square, pulled over, open the door.
That's awesome. That's that's too much.
I guess caffeine and nicotine were just
caffeine and nicotine.
Yeah, no good for the body that morning.
Oh man. Okay, so
I don't
know, where were we?
Microplastic. So you touched
I said something about seed oils and you lit up.
Oh yeah. I mean, that's been a big topic of ours continuously for the last year and a half.
So that has
we even made a video about it.
So maybe the new theory that's coming or is here, right, is that all these things like serve as toxins in the body. Mm-hmm. And okay, maybe your main toxin seed oils, maybe it's microplastic, maybe it's a combination of both. And or alcohol.
Here we are, hypocrites.
Yeah. Cigarettes.
Yeah. But at least we're conscientious of the toxins.
Oh, this is cool. Put this up to your
and ionizing of the wait, why is it not doing it now? Really? Oh.
Okay, flip up on it, see if it does it.
It's not. It's maddening.
Okay.
We're all getting ionizing radiation from our phones, at least.
Yeah, that's true. And
that's why the even RFK, Robert Kennedy said, I don't ever put it up to my ear.
Yeah. I don't, because putting a linear object up to it doesn't really, it never was like a phone, right? Yeah. I grew up with a phone that went like in a loop fashion from the ear to the mouth.
Down to the mouthpiece, yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
That made sense. It was ergonomic.
Now I'm sticking a brick up to my face.
Yeah.
And
no, I'm just
speakers are great.
Put the speaker, put it right here.
Yeah.
Yep.
So okay, so this is my kind of anecdote, right, to toxins in society, whether they be microplastics or seed oils or ionizing radiation, right? Is like, if you can reasonably dispense with it, do.
Okay.
Just do. Like, it's like, don't drink water from plastic water bottles.
Can we reasonably dispense with whiskey?
No.
I didn't think so.
Right.
I thought it crossed my mind for a second.
Why?
Yeah.
Well, okay, so you're going to live for the water bottles and the seed oils, or you're going to live for the whiskey?
The whiskey, no doubt.
Yeah. That makes perfect sense. What happened to your monitor?
I don't know. We've got electrical gremlins up here. I mean,
there it is. It came back.
Yeah, it just needed to be turned on. Just needed to be touched right.
Yeah,
a little turned on.
But okay, so I think we have enough evidence to say that plastic water bottles might not be great
Yeah, and don't you and a waste of fucking money too. Like we'll bitch about $3.30 a gallon gas.
Yeah,
$3 for a quart of water. That's valid.
Yeah, that's true.
The most prevalent fucking element on the planet. Oh yeah, I'll take 5 jugs for $20. I'd like some of that water.
And it's like you don't have to be unreasonable. It's like never drink out of a plastic water bottle. Yeah, maybe you don't have to go that extreme, right?
Not needed.
Yeah, but don't. Maybe have something you pour your water into every day. It's like old fashioned, like good old Stanley, right?
Yeah,
which
are apparently like a huge
they're
thing
popular
right
again.
Now. Yeah,
and they're weapons.
Oh yeah, there you go. You have a self-defense weapon in your hand.
Yeah,
Yetis. Every big manufacturer is making a stainless cup. Now, if you're like poor Sherry Guess, then I don't know what. I guess you
maybe you don't go with the metal. Maybe you go with the glass. You go with the mason jar.
Do you remember before?
Yeah,
before plastic vessels. We're old enough to remember. Like Gatorade bottles, glass. Coke bottles, glass. Everything, glass.
It's true.
100% recyclable.
Yep,
and it doesn't leak shit into the product.
Yeah, but you're right.
Glass is like it's super simple.
It's super. Yeah.
And not leaching.
So why? They had glass in the 1800s.
They have it right now. That's why. See, we are drinking for health because our whiskey is here in a glass bottle. And we are drinking whiskey from a glass. I
mean, it must be super cost effective to make glass because, I mean, apparently nobody's really capitalizing on it.
I don't know, man. It's like it can't be any...
DuPont. Do you know that was a big... DuPont.
Oh, the forever chemicals.
Yeah.
Like the Teflon coatings and the non-stick stuff.
Yeah, if you ever want to go down a rabbit hole, ask ChatGPT-4 about DuPont.
Okay.
Yeah, because this was kind of an important moment within American industrial history.
Okay.
And that's because manufacturing techniques grew to involve forever chemicals. Yeah.
At the time that they evolved into forever chemicals, did you know? Do you think they had any idea that they were doing harm? That they were harmful?
I think they just wanting to make money. It's like you get a cool product, you get this you make this strand of whatever that can be stretched and then weaved and molded into whatever you want it to be.
Yeah,
and you're like, oh God, what can I make? What can I make? Yeah. And you make everything. Yeah, you make everything. It's like cups.
So, if you don't take anything away from this episode other than if you take anything away from this episode tonight, take away the fact that you should use cast iron and glass.
Yeah.
And wood.
Right.
And wood.
Yeah, I know. And I'm not saying never eat the French fry.
Oh, sure. Yeah.
Right?
If
you're eating French fries every day.
Yeah. Give in to your carnal desires every now and then. Sure.
Yeah. It's like maybe you should rethink that equation.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Not every day, but occasionally.
And I'm not the picture of health.
Have a cigarette occasionally. Yeah.
Have a bum a cigarette. Unless bumming a cigarette is going to lead you to buy a pack of cigarette.
Yeah.
And then don't bum a cigarette.
Yeah. Buy the pack. Take a cigarette, throw away the pack.
That's
hey, at least they're paper products.
Yeah. That's true, right?
Cigarettes are environmentally friendly.
they biodegrade.
You don't have to worry about microplastics with cigarettes.
Right. Of course, cigarettes kill yourself, so and you are a harm on the environment. So maybe cigarettes are a net positive.
Maybe. I don't know. Oh my God, what a revelation we had here tonight. This is your medical doctor telling you.
Yeah.
Maybe cigarettes are a positive.
What do you think about this TikTok ban?
Hold on. Let's get to the point of back with microplastics, because we highlighted it at first, but we didn't expand on it.
Savage Pro said no.
No. The reproductive links. How do microplastics? Microplastics. How do microplastics affect reproductivity?
Yeah, so this is where you really need to listen to the Shanna Swan episode. But they've measured this, and they've measured phthalates in the bloodstream, and then measured the distance from the anus to the introitus.
I know what the anus is.
Yeah.
What's the other one?
Introitus. So you're talking about like vaginal opening.
I don't have one of those.
No.
I can go get one these days.
You have a penile opening,
okay,
though.
but it's not called the introitus.
And you really can't measure the distance from because penises generally vary. Although they have measured penis length and found that it is actually maybe some correlation. Right.
Oh, okay.
Okay. So that's really
microplastics?
Yeah,
like that was smaller?
Shanna Swan's assertion.
Oh shit, man! I'm going to buy glass everything from now on.
Yeah.
2
Not
weeks
that you need a long penis.
2 weeks I come in with a wheelbarrow in between my legs. Right. What happened to you? Like, yeah, stop with the microplastics.
Yeah.
Got me a big old dick now.
Oh my gosh. But yeah, that's actually a correlation that's relatively been established.
Yeah, okay.
Is that the length between the asshole and the introitus changes for, with varying phthalates in the blood.
Where should it be? Like
I don't have enough objective data to say,
okay.
Right?
All right.
It's like one of those no when you see it phenomenon. Yeah.
Like, oh, you have an abundance of microplastics, probably. Yeah. Okay, TikTok. Did you put this up or did Savage?
Okay, so this is interesting. Back to microplastics, right? Apparently it's transferable.
Oh, through bodily fluids, I'm assuming is what you're meaning?
Yeah, no. It's like mom can transfer some of or some of the problems that display in mom can cause problems.
A fetus and a child and a newborn. Wow.
I know.
That's alarming.
Yeah, so and it's been posited that some of our reproductive problems in our industrial societies originally started in our mothers. Okay, so that's profound.
Yeah. Thanks, Mom.
I don't know what to think about that. It sounds like end of the world-ish.
Yeah, it kind of does. It's the
right?
Back to the Children of Man movie.
Yeah. Oh.
That's a good one. Clive Owen.
That is a good one.
Ladies, Clive Owen's good to look at. I'm not gay, but I'm saying.
Yeah, it's okay.
He's a sexy Scotsman. Yeah, it's there.
Okay, TikTok ban.
Okay.
What do you think about this?
So this is your note?
No.
This is not your note?
Yeah, it is.
Okay, I'm indifferent to it, honestly. But
okay,
is it censoring free speech or is it?
That was my concern.
It's a Chinese-owned company still. Their ruling is China divest your interest to an American corporation or you're done. That's it. And that's kind of noble, sure. But then I don't trust my own fucking government.
Yeah, we buy shit from China all the time.
All the day, every day, every hour, every minute.
It's usually plastic.
Yeah, there you go. And
right?
Overproduced.
So why is TikTok special?
Because it's probably getting messages across that anti-government sentiments, maybe.
So their argument, I think, I've listened to a lot of stuff about this podcast usually, that maybe the TikTok algorithm has been specially engineered by the Chinese to promote society-changing messaging. Is that and that's a national security issue?
Spyware importing our data from here back to China.
Okay,
back to China.
That's okay. So I heard that message originally, and I was like, "Yeah, that's a problem, right?" And then I don't want my 14-year-old daughter sitting on like I do, sit on the toilet for an hour taking a dump, and then watch TikTok and then.
Now she's a Chinese communist robot.
Yeah, it's not cool, right? So I was indifferent for the longest time.
It is definitely making us dumber. That's happening.
Yeah, it's
all social media, but TikTok is like the spearheading the way of.
I roll up my extension cords differently thanks to TikTok. I do this whole
so there's some convenient, ingenious stuff on there for sure, but then there's also flat earthers that get their point across too.
Yeah, okay. So and then here's where I have the problem with it. Like, who's the government to decide what I take in on my toilet? I put out, right? Put out or take in on my toilet.
Good point. Valid.
Who's the government to decide that?
Yeah, back to the nanny state, right? Yeah. So maybe I'm not indifferent. Maybe fuck off, federal government. I'll get to take in whatever I want.
Yeah. And maybe it's a moot point because President Biden just like signed this into law.
Mm-hmm.
So,
yeah, it has passed both the Senate, House. Now the president has signed it officially.
Yeah.
So when is it supposed to take effect?
I don't know enough about it, but what I'm kind of suggesting is mark it in history and saying, okay, this happened because we didn't do this with the Patriot Act, right? We didn't say, okay, this could have a bad effect, and we're just going to watch this and see what it caused. It's like, it's like 20 years after the Patriot Act, we were like, oh, that might have been a bad idea.
Yeah, we all kind of got spied on.
Yeah.
So that maybe that's the biggest thing here, that they're not, it's our government, so they're not going to present the overwhelming evidence of why they're doing what they're doing, but it's probably because there's probably national security issues or intelligence issues that TikTok's giving away. They don't give a shit about you and I and what you're taking in. There's other issues at hand here that they're going, well, the Chinese are spying on us.
I know.
We can't have that.
Some of the more concerning aspects is that, okay, so some of the pundits that I watch kind of assert that there's some nefarious motives at play with regards to defining foreign intelligence and then just spying on Americans or censoring Americans, right?
Which happened not but 4 years ago.
It happened.
And still continuing.
It absolutely happened. Like it started with the Patriot Act, it seems. I may be wrong about all this. Although I think some people agree with me, Alex Jones. Okay. So it started with spying on Americans, and then it morphed into censoring
and influencing.
Yes.
Yeah, for sure. So that maybe that's their biggest agenda is they want to remove TikTok because it's a source that they can't regulate.
Yeah. Yeah. And then maybe this move of censoring TikTok opens up the legal ability to do the censor other things.
All platforms.
Yeah, or anything they deem as problematic.
Well, that's the essence of our federal government, right? You give them an inch, they take a mile.
Okay, so Conspiracy Crossroads, right?
No.
No. Conspiracy Crossroads.
I'm going to play the intro music for that. No.
How much of our Conspiracy Crossroads historically comes from TikTok?
I mean, the person here to give you that accurate data is unfortunately not here. I'm going to say over 90%.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. So that's valid.
So they want to eliminate dissenting.
I think so.
Yeah.
And the more I look into it, not through TikTok. Actually, I haven't been on TikTok in weeks.
Yeah.
More I look into it, that side of things is actually more resonant. Right.
It kind of is like they're not as crazy as they once were. Those thoughts and those ideas and the cognitive dissonance that we used to think we had towards it is not really there anymore.
Golly, I know. Here I'm all of a sudden to a point of nihilism and just like we should just die.
Well, we just need to get to the end of the ice wall, according to flat earthers.
Yeah.
And then we just fall off and flatten ourselves on the firmament, and that's it.
Firmament.
Because if there's a firmament above, what's below, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay, here's one that I typed up that I was just randomly thinking of.
Okay.
The consistent allure of breakfast foods. Okay, so
what are you referring to with that?
Let me paint you a picture. You have
handy's so good.
You have baked what?
Oh, I was just saying about breakfast.
Oh yes, my handies are always good.
Yeah,
I'll give the best handies.
Good for morning wood. Okay, writing that down as a potential.
Okay, I think we've got a few built up by now, right?
Yes, we do.
So one evening you have baked chicken, some herbs and veggies, but the next evening you're like, I don't want that again. I want something else.
We're talking about it tonight.
Yeah. So, or you have fried rice or chicken pate or baked beans and ham.
Who has chicken pate?
I don't know.
Oh, okay.
I don't know, but it's there.
Maybe.
But you always want something different. Now, when it comes to breakfast foods, sausage, eggs, and bacon every morning, I don't care. It always sounds good. It never gets old.
That's an interesting point.
Yeah. So what the hell is that? What is the reasoning behind that?
Yeah. My guess is there's some industrial complex behind it.
Is it a prehistoric primitive thing built into us? Like this is fatty meat, eggs. That's it.
I know, right?
Yeah. Is that it? Is it?
I don't know. Okay. So
like some primordial essence of like just wholesome, real fatty foods for breakfast.
Okay. So eggs have been with us for a long time.
See.
Okay. So here are some very important elements to eggs. They sit well in room temperature, right? So you can like you find an egg and you can like travel with the egg. I'm thinking like hunter gatherer.
Okay.
Right? You can travel with the egg, or you have the chicken. So maybe not hunter gatherer, but like 1800 farmer. You have the chicken that lays the egg. The egg can be on the counter for quite some time.
Before spoiling.
Before spoiling.
Yeah. Okay.
Right. Okay. So that's a valid point.
So there's something primordial built into us about that. Like that's a constant, and it just never gets old.
Right.
So what about?
Okay. Salt port, bacon.
There you go. A natural way of preserving for how many millenniums now?
Yeah.
Millennia. Thank you.
Ever since salt was a thing. But even before salt was a thing, they had smoking.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Smoke preservation.
Right.
Right? And so like eggs and bacon eggs, but bacon in some form have been with us for a long time.
Yeah, but before even the methods of preserving with salt or smoking, there was literally just like the fresh flesh of the animal.
Okay, so that's really hunter gatherer.
Bingo.
Okay, so you basically you're going back to a time before agriculture. So you had agriculture 12 to 8,000 years ago. Maybe. We don't know. There's been some alternate theories proposed.
We're not going to discuss those tonight.
Not going to discuss those. But even before then, it's like they were smoke preserving meat. Hunter-gatherers up until agriculture was smoke preserving meat for like millennia.
Okay.
Right? And then that's so to get back to just like good old meat, just raw meat.
Yeah.
You're looking a long time ago, like 80,000 years ago.
Oh yeah.
Before.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, it also never really truly gets old as a constant, and mostly in a snack form these days. Nuts.
Okay.
Like
yeah.
You can have these nuts.
Where do you get nuts from? If you're,
that's part of the gathering phase, right? Like berries.
Yeah. I guess so. Right.
Eating fruit, like fruit never sounds bad. Never sounds.
I've never really thought about that. Honestly,
nuts never sound like I can grab some salty nuts.
Like peanuts. Where do you? I guess you find peanuts in the wild, right?
Oh yeah, definitely. Yeah.
Okay.
But pecans, walnuts,
tree nuts.
Yeah, Brazil nuts, otherwise known as Brazil nuts.
Yes. I didn't say it. You did.
But yeah, naturally occurring food sources, and hunting, meaty flesh, gathering fruits, nuts.
So back to breakfast, it's like bacon and eggs.
Yeah, and it never gets tiresome.
Historic. Yeah,
like you can fucking wake up salivating.
Oh yeah, totally.
I never wake up salivating thinking, God, I can't wait to have chicken pate tonight.
Yeah. So this
scallop potatoes tonight again. Yes.
So this is interesting. So I faced an academic quandary recently. Okay. So and this was a few years ago, secondary to diabetes, right? Diabetes. I deleted toast for my, morning.
Interesting. Yeah, routine, I remember you being on this crusade.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. And since then, I've kind of been at a loss because I like my eggs much like you do.
Yeah.
Right? Fried in bacon grease.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
And over easy too. So you get the runny yolk.
Yeah.
Right? That's good shit, God man.
Damn it.
It's like cook the bacon.
Salivating right now.
Yeah. Yeah. It's like the perfect routine is you cook the bacon.
Yes.
You get the bacon grease, then you cook the egg in the bacon grease.
Yes.
And then, but the problem is, what do you soak out the egg yolk with if you don't have toast, biscuit, some sort of bread?
So you don't you just have to give it. You got to either lick it off the plate.
I have done that. I have done that. Yeah.
Or give it to the dogs. But yeah.
What do you do?
But
what do you do?
So
I figured it out.
You were on a cruise. Okay. Well, what did you do? What did you do?
Broccoli.
Up.
Ah. Yeah. So basically, I have a dry cast iron skillet. I put my frozen broccoli in, and I cook it till it's like caramelized. Like cook it on pretty like medium to high heat, actually, and to where I get some of that Maillard reaction, right?
Mm-hmm.
That brown,
yes,
on the broccoli.
Yeah.
Put my eggs over it
for breakfast.
It's fucking good.
Okay, so
the broccoli soaks the egg yolk up.
Yeah. Okay. Yes. Yeah.
Yeah.
So it's there. So you were on a crusade against. Hold on. Before that, I've had this idea in my head for a segment for a while, like a game show. Like, has it been altered by man? And we present a list of things, and we go down through it, and you go for a wrong answer, or ding ding for a right answer. So, broccoli, is it natural?
Yeah. So Saladino would say it's not.
It's not. It's been altered by man, genetically altered by man, or
Paul Saladino, the Carnivore Code author,
manipulated by man. Brussels sprouts, are they natural?
Natural. Shit.
Manipulated by man.
Really?
Yes. So that's why I'm like, holy crap! There's this whole list of things we could put down. So, anyways, back to it.
Saladino doesn't think broccoli is healthy. I think it's because of oxalates.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
What does that mean?
So that means that broccoli does not want to be eaten.
Did it tell you that? Yeah, I'm a tree person.
I know, right? Me. Yeah, and I would not. Jeez,
the Groot.
Don't get me wrong.
Don't eat
Saladino. You're awesome. I would not recommend.
He is a listener for sure. We know this.
Obviously,
we know this.
Yeah, he's awesome. But I wouldn't recommend normal people read his book.
Okay.
Maybe watch his podcast. Equate yourself with his ideas.
Okay.
Right. But his argument is that some foods just don't want to be eaten. And if you eat them, they're going to give you toxins.
Huh.
Yeah, and broccoli is one of them.
Interesting. I didn't know that about broccoli.
Yeah.
What kind of toxins does that present itself with?
It's like something in the skin.
Huh.
Maybe.
Okay.
But, and then some foods do want to be eaten. Like fruits.
Oh.
Because they want to transfer the seeds through our system and, shit them out the other side.
Okay. Good point.
Yeah. So that's his argument.
But this knowledge comes from my doctor, Dr. Fagley.
Yeah.
Don't juice your fruits. Eat your fruits.
Yeah, don't juice your fruits.
You need that fiber.
Dumb.
You need that fiber in the fruit to digest the sugar.
Theoretically.
Yeah, and if you take that away, then you're just drinking a sugary soda.
Why are you doing that?
Yeah, just eat your fruit. Eat your fruit.
It doesn't make sense. You got to peel the orange to juice it anyway.
Eat your meat, eat your fruit.
Oh, I'm writing that down. Oh, that's greatness.
But back to toast, okay?
Okay.
Were you on a crusade against bread as a whole or Americanized?
No, honestly,
bread.
So whenever I was on the crusade, so we were very much still in paleo days, but I hadn't taken up the paleo charge, right?
Yeah.
So whenever I became diabetic, it was 2011 or recognized I was diabetic.
I didn't know that.
I don't know how long I was diabetic for. Okay. Right. 2011. So it's like in between Atkins and paleo.
Okay.
Right.
Yeah.
So all we knew to think then was macros.
Mm-hmm.
And the alternate theory was protein and fat good, carbs bad, right? And so that was literally the metric.
A lot of the world was on that train at that time.
Sure.
Yeah.
Sure. But it was still an alternate theory because the prevailing theory or the most marketed theory, here you get into nutrition industrial complex.
Oh, it's a thing.
Yeah. Low fat, It's like literally think back to 2011.
Yeah.
It's like everything was like against fat.
Yeah. Oh, and it was that way for 40 years before that. Like the lobby for sugar and for processing and against fat.
Yeah, that's real.
Powerful thing.
That was real.
Yeah, and is still a factor to this day.
Yeah. And so Dr. Atkins came out against that in like 1967.
And it took his message that long to really
transform.
And transform, yeah.
Yeah. Atkins led to paleo, which led to keto, which led to carnivore, and so it's like, holy shit. Like when you actually think about it. But, okay, with all that said, I nerd out on this shit. But with all that said, whenever I became Atkins, it was very much just about macros. Yeah. What was that? What? Oh. There's somebody looking in on us.
Oh, it's my wife.
Yeah.
And my daughter.
What's up? You can see them back there.
Yeah. Huh?
You're on camera.
You're on camera. Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah. Don't worry. We can. You can sit probably over there on the couch. You really can't tell.
I mean, just be on camera.
Yeah. But now it's leading more towards carbohydrates aren't the devil.
Yeah. So
because we ate grain for millennia
it's like
as well.
The fucking like right wing backlash, right? Yeah. It's like the same thing. You get you have an extremist message and you get the alternating extremist message.
Yeah.
And then you like swing back and forth and it's right. It's like, okay, carnivores still think carbs are the devil. I mean, with that said, a lot of carnivore includes fruits, so maybe not.
Oh yeah. Right. Yeah. So I don't know. But the American bread product was
it was vilified.
Yeah.
It was vilified.
For a good reason. Like it just was devoid of the nutrition, right?
Yeah, right.
And the soluble fibers. It was
maybe
just
not
junk.
Yeah, right.
But to that, so Kevin Burns once said, like, he doesn't feel like he is eating a meal if he doesn't have meat in it. And I agree. But I sometimes also don't feel like I've had a meal without bread.
It's a valid point.
It feels incomplete.
Yeah.
And is that back to a primitive thing?
Since the emergence of this seed oil hypothesis, it's interesting because some of the correlation seems to maybe fit that better than the bread problem.
Okay.
Right? Bread, refined carbohydrates were the problem, right?
Yeah.
But maybe not. Or maybe it's refined fat. That was the problem.
Polyunsaturated fatty acids. Right?
Yeah, but not. It's not a problem with polyunsaturated fatty acids. It's a problem of the sheer amount.
Okay.
Of them.
So there is absolutely
and oxidized versions of them,
which would have been what do they call that? They banned trans fats, right?
Yeah, but that's a murky definition.
Okay. Well, we're getting a little long on the tooth
I know,
here.
right?
So, but tomorrow I'm
Holy
excited.
Shit!
We're dancing tomorrow.
Yeah, we are.
Yeah,
dude, it's gonna be great.
You're dancing with Olivia.
Yeah,
I'm sorry, Amelia, and Olivia has asked me to fill in.
So what we're so within the dance world, the competitive dance world, you have daddy-daughter dances, and it's not like the junior league daddy-daughter dance, right? Yeah. So basically, at recital, you perform a dance with your daughter, and it's a pre-choreographed thing. Okay. Well, I got 2 daughters.
Yeah.
One daddy-daughter dance, so you've been asked to fill in.
Well, I'm honored to fill in your shoes. Those are big shoes to fill. So hopefully I don't disappoint you.
No, you'll be great.
Or Olivia.
You'll be great.
Speaking Speaking of my daughter, hi, Sugar. Can you say hi into the microphone?
Hey, what's up, kiddo?
Hi.
How are you?
Hi, let's talk.
Yeah.
All right.
Isn't she just precious?
She's pretty awesome. Well, on that note, I think let's call it a night.
Dude, that was fun.
Yeah, it was a great episode. Thanks again for listening, everybody, and we'll see you on the next one.
Adios.
You've been listening to the Whiskey Bros Around the Table. Gracias por convivir con los hermanos Whiskey.